up everybody? How you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be reviewing this Eureka E20 Plus robot vacuum. Alright guys, so I have never really tried a robot vacuum like this in terms of this kind of review. So I'm just going to try this different style today, just sitting here and maybe throwing up some clips. But usually I just kind of let it go around, but I figured I'd kind of just sit here with you guys and have it right in my hand. So this is the Eureka E20 Plus robot vacuum. My thing with this robot, in terms of vacuuming, this is probably the best robot vacuum I've ever seen that I've ever tested. It just does a really good job. It really does. It also does have a mopping pad. I don't recommend it for mopping just because it's a pad. It's not spinning or a roller. Basically, there's a water tank in here. If you fill it up, you can control it on the app and it'll just put water on this pad and it'll drag it. That's what they call mopping. I don't recommend it. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's nice to have. Like, if you really don't have much mopping to do and you just want to mop like every couple days and you don't mind, just all you have to do to take it off, it's just Velcro and then you slip it right off. You put it in the laundry and put another one on. If you just want like a daily mopper, not like a deep cleaner, this mopping may be fine and you don't care about doing a little more maintenance. Also, something I love about this robot is in terms of hair wrap, this is a really, really great robot. I've put this thing through multiple torture tests and it's rarely ever gotten like hair wrap, which is really awesome. Like, the way it's supposed to have it, it's supposed to go to the sides and kind of accumulate around there. And that always happens, or there's just no hair wrap around there at all, which is amazing. Where I see a little bit of hair wrap is around the sides, but it's not a big deal. Usually it doesn't get stuck for a long time. And I'm glad this thing has two. I really wish all robot vacuums had two of these. If these extended, wow. That's the only thing. The only thing that I really, and also it has a bagless auto empty bin. You see it does a pretty good job. This is only about 3 days worth of stuff. Yeah, it's bagless. It usually auto empties most of, if not all of it. Yeah, I do like that it's bagless. You can always just empty it, wash the filter, you're done. You don't have to buy stuff, order stuff in advance, you know? So that's definitely an advantage for me. I definitely like bagless over bag designs. But there is some issues with this robot vacuum. The tech on it is just not there. The LiDAR, you think with a LiDAR vacuum that it would be a lot better. Also, obstacle avoidance is very iffy. This is not a great obstacle avoidance robot vacuum. It won't avoid everything. But the mapping just is bad. Really, like it just doesn't navigate very well. It just doesn't. It gets stuck in places that it isn't really stuck. Like it's like, oh, I went into a completely different room that doesn't exist. It starts making rooms on the map. Like it literally starts mapping stuff out that isn't there. It's very, very weird. I've never seen another robot do that. I don't like it for that reason. And then it also doesn't do well with high pile carpets. I have a high pile carpet in my living room and it struggled on it. The vacuuming was great. Like it was getting everything out of there, but it ran on it for a few minutes and then just stopped. It said the brush roller was wrapped and there was nothing on it. Like it was still free spinning. Like that's literally what it had on there. I mean, it's free spinning. And then I'd start it again, it would go for another couple minutes and it would just stop again. So for those two reasons alone, I don't recommend this robot vacuum. I think it is great for if you don't have those crazy carpets and you don't have like a very crazy floor plan at all. I think this is a decent robot vacuum. For the way it vacuums, it's great. And the way it doesn't require a ton of maintenance in terms of the vacuuming, it's great. So I guess if you don't have a big home and it's not complicated and you don't have a bunch of big carpets everywhere, this is a buy. If it's on sale and it's like less than 400, that's definitely a buy for the right home. But if you're wanting this thing to clean like a big home, which that's something it actually does well. In terms of battery, this is one of the best robot vacuums I've ever seen. It vacuums for a long time, like 3 hours almost, which is really amazing. But most of the time it doesn't navigate right. It just really depends on your home. That's with this robot vacuum. But overall, like I said, it's good for some homes, but if you put it in a home with the stuff that I said doesn't work with, it just won't work. I did put a torture test on this thing. I have put it through many different areas. I put it through a arts campus, which has like children running through it, 30 plus children running through it almost daily. So obviously there's gonna be crap on the ground. There's gonna be a bunch of hair that it has to pick up. And it's a pretty big building and it ran pretty decent in there. But there's rod furniture in there and that is kryptonite for almost all robot vacuums. And that's where it got stuck. And that's like the place it started making like map areas that where it didn't exist. The map wasn't right at all. So yeah, but in terms of actually vacuuming, it did great in there. And then I actually moved it to a big theater on the stage where there's God knows what, and it hasn't been cleaned backstage for a very long time, and it made it through one run. Made it through the entire backstage and it cleaned very well. And then I did the no-go zones through the backstage just because I knew that it would be rough back there. And the map still was bad back there, but it worked the first time. And then, so I had it docked in a bathroom, right? And there was a door, but it could easily get out of there. And it has before. And when I scheduled a clean to have it clean a certain room, it said it couldn't get out. But if I had it zoned, like if I went in there manually, didn't have a schedule, and zoned out an area for it to clean, it would work and it would go out and you wouldn't have to change anything. That's what I'm talking about. That type of weird stuff is just like, you shouldn't have to deal with that. You really shouldn't. So that's just my take on the Eureka E20 Plus robot vacuum. If you guys have this, let me know how it's going for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will leave a link if you would like to purchase this. And please like, subscribe, comment, share, as it helps the channel greatly against YouTube algorithm. And other than that, aim high, not low, and never quit. Peace.